Welcome to the class. The topic today we would be studying is the questions related to money, adding and subtracting money. Okay. So before doing anything else, we need to join A plus students.com. You go to the website. Okay. And once you're in the website, what you need to do is you need to join your grade. The subject is mathematics. Okay. You go to math. Then you select your grade. Your grade is grade 6. Okay. And the topic we will be studying today is money, right? Addition and subtraction of money, right? Questions related to money. So let's begin. Okay. Okay. So the lesson number one, lesson number one. The lesson number one is multiply, multiply money by whole numbers and decimals. Okay. So this is the lesson, okay, that we will start. So we start off with the first question. Since you already know what multiplication is, right? So we start off with the first question, and the question number one says, multiply, it's dollars 63 and 0 cents is multiplied by 0.3. It's multiplied with a decimal, okay? Let's see how we can multiply by the decimals. Since 63 does not have any cents in it, it's fixed dollars, $63 over there, right? So we can also consider it to be equal to 63. So we write 63 is multiplied by, what is the next number? 0.3. Okay. So let's move on to the question. Okay. When we multiply 3 by 3, we can multiply 3 by 3. And the answer would be 3 times 3 is 9. Okay. So 3 times 3 is 9. And what is 3 times 6? 3 times 6 is 18. Okay. What we need to see over here is how many numbers were after the decimal, right? So we can say there is one decimal place, right? So what we need to do is we need to add one decimal place to the answer. Okay. So what we do is we can say the answer was dollars 189.0. So what we need to do now is we need to move decimal towards the left one place, because this was one decimal place. That means our answer comes out to be dollars 18.90, right? Sorry. The answer comes out to be 18.9, which can also be written as 18.90. That means $18.90. Let's look at the next question. For us, most important is to count the decimal places, right? If it's one decimal place, we move one towards the left. If it's two decimal place, we move two numbers on the left, okay? So the next question is, the question says, multiply dollars 694 by 0.5. We need to multiply 694 by 0.5. So let's do the multiplication. When 694 is multiplied by 0.5, we do the simple multiplication as a regular number. 4 times 5 is 20. We put a 0 over here. We carry the 2. 5 times 9 is 45. And we have a 2 carry over here. That means 47. We take the 2 at the top. Okay, 47. What is 9 multiplied by 6? Oh, sorry. 5 multiplied by 6 is 30. 30 plus 4 is 34. So what we can say is this is 34 over here. How many decimal places were there in the question? This had one decimal place, right? A single decimal place. That means in this case, we move one decimal to the left side. The decimal is moved on the number one place to the left side. That means a final answer comes out to be dollars 347.0. Okay, that means, and whenever we are considering currency, when we're talking about money, we always give our answer in two decimal places. That means 347.00, because there could be some cents in it. That's why we give our final answer as in two decimal places. Okay, very good, very nice. Let's move on to the next question. Okay, let's look at the next question. The next question says, okay, round your answer, and they have a statement. Round your answer to the nearest cent, right? We need to round off our answer. The question says that dollars 0.48 is multiplied by 0.1. Okay, so let's count the decimal places. We have two decimal places over here, and we have one decimal place over here. The total number of decimal places would be 2 plus 1. That is, the total decimal places are 3 decimal places, right? So what we do is we multiply. When we are multiplying, when we have already counted the decimal places, what we can do is we can say we simply multiply 48 by 1, right? So what we can also see, we can do 0.48 multiplied by 0.1, right? And we can find the answer. 1 multiplied by 8 is 8. 1 multiplied by 4 is 4. 1 multiplied by 0 is 0, right? And what we can do is we can move 3 decimal places. 1 decimal place, the second decimal place, and the third decimal place. The decimal will come over here. Okay, that means your answer comes out to be dollars 0.048, right? But we cannot have 0.048 cents, right? Either we can have 1 cent, 2 cents, and cents. So what we do is we round this off. We know that in rounding off, we have two choices. Either we round up or we do round down. Let's look at the conditions. If the numbers are between 1, 2, 3, 4, right? From 0 to 4, if the numbers are between 0 to 4, we do round down. And if the numbers are from 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, so what we do is we round up. Okay, so what we are looking over here is this value of 8. 8 means it's round up. It would carry 1 to the value that is before it. That means our answer comes out to be dollars 0.0 and 4 becomes a 5. Okay, so we also need to remember how to round off decimal numbers. Okay, do we agree on this? Are there any questions? Okay, good. Let's move on to the next question. Okay, let's see what we have in the next question. Okay, the next question says, multiply dollars 0.55 by multiply by 0.2. We need to multiply them together, right? So the basic is, the first thing we need to do is, let's count the decimal places. There were 2 decimal places. There was 1 decimal place. The total number of decimal places would be 3 decimal places, right? So once we have counted the decimal places, what we can do is we can consider these decimal numbers as whole numbers. Okay, so once we consider them as whole numbers, we can also say that 0.55 becomes 55 and 2 becomes 0.2 becomes the 2. We are considering them as whole numbers because we have counted their decimal places. So we know that 2 multiplied by 5 is 10. So we put down a 0, carry 1 to the tens. Again, 2 multiplied by 5 is 10, but we still have a 1 carry over here. That means it becomes 11 over here. And how many decimal places were there? There were 3 decimal places. So we move 3 decimal places towards the left. Okay, so let's see how it will be done. 1 decimal place, 2nd decimal place, and the 3rd decimal place. The decimal comes to this position. That means our answer becomes 0.110. But we need to have something before this. So we put a 0 over here. That means 0.110. And usually we give our answer in 2 decimal places. This is the first place, second place, first place, second place, and third place. So we don't either we round up or round down, and we change the other number. That means it becomes 0.11 because this is round down, and we put the dollar sign because the question was in dollars. They were asking us to convert the currency, the money. Okay, that's good. Let's look at the next. Okay. The next question says, if we need to multiply, okay, the next question says, question number 5, it says, multiply, okay, $25 to 2 decimal places. Why? Because we can have cents as well, into 0.8. Okay. Since there are no cents in this, we can say this is 25 multiplied by 0.8. We count the number of decimal places. We only have 1 decimal place, right? We have a single position of decimal place. That means we multiply these numbers as whole numbers. We say 25 is multiplied by 8. 8 times 5 is 40. We put a 0, we carry a 4. 8 times 2 is 16. 16 plus 4 is 20. How many decimal places were there? There is one decimal place. So we move one decimal place. That means 200 had a decimal here. Once we move the decimal to this position, it becomes 20.0, right? And since it was in dollars, we give our answer in as dollars 20. Okay, this would be a final answer. And since it's currency, right? So we would put the cents. The first part is for the dollars and the second part is for the cents. Or we write $20 as our answer, okay? Okay, let's try one more question. Multiply dollars 0.56 is multiplied by 0.7. Okay, so we count the number of decimal places. We have 2 decimal places. We have 1 decimal place. That means the total number of decimal places is 3 decimal places. What we need to do is we would multiply these numbers as whole numbers. So the whole numbers would become 56 multiplied by 7. We know that 6 times 7 is, what is 6 times 7? Can anyone give me the answer? Okay, very good. The next one is, we know that 6 times 7 is 42. So we keep the 2, we take 4 to the tens position, right? What is 7 times 5? 7 times 5 is 35, right? So we add 4 to the 35, it becomes 39. So when 56 is multiplied by 7, the answer comes out to be 392, right? And we know that there are total of 3 decimal places, right? Altogether, because 2 decimal places were in 0.56 and there was 1 decimal place in 0.7. Okay, so now what we need to do is we need to move 3 decimal places towards the left. So what we do is, this was 392 and the decimal position. So we start moving the decimal. 1 position, 2 position, and 3rd position. The decimal should come over here. That means our answer should become 0.392. And since the question is in dollars, right, we always give our answer in 2 decimal places because they can be 100 cents. And the maximum cents could be 0 to 99, because when the cents become from 99 to 100, it converts into a dollar. So what we need to see is, this would round up or it will round down. We need to see that. Since it is a number between 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4, this will round down. It would not round up. That means it will not do any change to the number before it. So it stays as 0.39, and we need to use the unit that was dollars. Okay, because the question was in dollars. We are studying about multiplication, addition, and subtraction of the currencies, right? Okay. Question number 7. Okay. Let's look at the next question. If the question says multiply dollars 0.25 is multiplied by 0.4. Okay. So once we are multiplying their numbers together, we need to count the number of decimal places. There were 2 decimal places and there is 1 decimal place. That means altogether there are 3 decimal places. Okay. So while multiplying these numbers, since the number was 0.25, we will consider them as whole numbers. We will write 25 is multiplied. 0.4 becomes a whole number, that is 4. So when we multiply these numbers together, 4 times 5 is 20. 0 and 2 is carried. 4 times 2 is 8. 8 plus 2 is 10. So our answer comes out to be 100, but the decimal position is over here. What we need to do is we need to move 3 decimal places. 1 place, 2 place, and 3 places. The decimal will come over here. Therefore, our answer would become 0.100, right? 3 decimal places. And we usually give our answer, because this is currency, we're talking about money over here, we give it to 2 decimal places. That means 0.10 is your final answer. Okay, agreed? Any questions? Very good. Very good. And once we have the 100, we need to move 3 decimal places, right? So once we move 3 decimal places, it becomes 0.100. And 0.100 means 0.10. We take the answer to 2 decimal places. Okay, that's great. Let's see the next one. Let's try another question. Okay. The next question says, question number 8, it says multiply. Okay, but it also says if necessary, okay, round your answer, okay, round your answer to the nearest cent. Okay, the 100 cents in $1. So the question says dollars 0.47 is multiplied by 0.3. We count the number of decimal places. We have 2 decimal places. We have 1 decimal place. That means the total number of decimal places is 3 decimal places. Okay. We consider these decimal numbers now as whole numbers. What we do is we multiply 47 is multiplied by 3. 3 multiplied by 7 is 21. So we write 1 and we carry the 2, right? It's 21. And then 4 multiplied by 3 is 12. And 12 plus 2 is 14. That means our answer comes out to be 141 when we multiply 47 multiplied by 3. So can I write this? 141 and the decimal is at this position. Since there were 3 decimal places already in the question, we need to move 3 places towards the left. Agreed? Okay, great. Thank you. So now we move 3 decimal places where? We move 3 decimal places towards the left. So one decimal place, two decimal place, and third decimal place. The decimal should come over here, which can be written as 0.141. Okay. So now what we need to do is we need to make it two decimal places. So what we do is we look at this. Would it be round up or round down? Since the number is between 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4, we do round down and we do not round up. Round down means that we are rounding off the number to the smaller, closer number. That means the answer becomes 0.14, and we put the dollar sign because we are talking about money right now. Okay. Okay. Let's see one more question. Question number 9. Okay. If we have another question. Okay. Same question, the same statement they have in the question. If necessary, round your, okay, sorry. If multiply, and if necessary, round off to the nearest cent. It's the same statement in the next question. And the next question says that we need to multiply dollars 2.51 is multiplied by 0.5. The first thing first, we count the number of decimal places. So we can say that we have two decimal places over here and we have one decimal place over here. That means the total number of decimal places is 3 decimal places. Agreed? So since we have 3 decimal places, we will keep this in our mind. Once we have the final answer, then we'll move the decimal places. So now we can consider these numbers as whole numbers. Whole numbers are those numbers which do not have decimals in it. So if we would multiply 251 is multiplied by 5. So can we say 5 multiplied by 1 is 5. 5 multiplied by 5 is 25. Sorry, I'll erase this. I'll use a different color. 5 multiplied by 5 is 25. 5 stays down and 2 is carried. And then 5 multiplied by 2 is 10 plus 2 is 12. That means our answer comes out to be 1, 2, 5, 5. Okay. Now let's see how we can move the decimal places. If the answer was 1, 2, 5, 5, we know the position of the decimal over here. How many decimal places do we need to move? We need to move 3 places, 1 place, 2 place, and 3. The decimal should come somewhere over here. We change the position of the decimal. That means our answer becomes 1.255. Agreed? But the initial statement of the question also said, if necessary, round your answer to the nearest cent. That means we need to do the rounding. And we know that we have two options. Either we look at the last digit, either it would be round up or it would be round down. We know that if it's 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4, if the last digit is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, then it is rounded down. But we can see a 5 over here. Round up applies to 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. That means this will give a +1 to the previous number. And we can say this becomes 1.2. When this 5 changes with the +1, it becomes 1.26, and we apply the dollar sign. That means dollars 1.26. Okay. Let's try another question. Let's see. Okay. If we have, okay, it's simple multiplication. Let's see. Okay. The next question would be multiply dollars 5.20 is multiplied by 0.9. Okay. Let's try this question. Very good. Okay. No. How many decimal places are there in 5.20 and 0.9? Can anyone give me the decimal places? Just the number of decimal places. Are there one decimal place, two decimal place, three, four? How many decimal places are there in this question? Okay, sure. Let's move on. Okay, good. So we know that there are two decimal places over here, and there is a one number after decimal. That means there is one decimal place over here. That means the total number of decimal places would be three decimal places, right? Two decimal places and one decimal place. That means the total decimal place is three. Now let's see what would be our answer if we consider these numbers as whole numbers. 520 is multiplied by 9. We know that any number, okay, any number when multiplied by a 0 stays a 0. That means 9 multiplied by 0 is 0. 9 multiplied by 2 would be 18. We keep 8, we carry a 1, right? And what is 9 multiplied by 5? 9 multiplied by 5 is 45, plus 1 is 46. Okay, so what we have is, we know that we have three decimal places, and our answer is 4680, and the decimal place is here. So what we do is we move three decimal places, 1, 2, and 3. The decimal should come over here. So we can write this as 4.680. And since this is, we are talking about currency over here, we are talking about money over here, we give it to two decimal. So this 0 does not do any difference to the number, and we write this as dollars 4.68. Okay. Another question, then we'll try the test that is on the right top corner of your page, so that we can do some questions from the test, and the remaining I would expect you people to do yourself, right? It's an MCQ based test, so that you would eventually know what is the correct answer. You can click on the answers. Okay, so let's try this question. The next question says multiply, okay, dollars 96.00 is multiplied by 0.6. Okay, 96.00, that means there are no cents. So 96.00 can also be considered as 96 is multiplied by 0.6. Can we count the decimal places? How many decimal places are there? 96 does not have any decimal, but we have one decimal place. Okay, 0.6. So if we multiply, can we say 96 multiplied by 6? What is 6 times 6? Is 36. We keep 3 and we carry the 3, right? What is 9 times 6? 9 times 6 is 54. But we need to add this 3 as well. That becomes 57. So we can write this as 576, and the decimal position is over here. And then how many places do we need to move? We need to move one decimal place. So what we do is we simply move one decimal place and we bring the decimal over here. So we can write this as 57.6. Agreed. And since this is in dollars, we need to write the unit dollars. 57 0.60, because always the currency or the money or the dollars or any other pounds, they are written in 2 decimal places. So we change 0.6 to 0.60. Okay, let's go start off with the test. Let's do a few questions from the test. Do you have any other question? Okay, good. Very good. Very good. 57.60. 2 decimal places we have to give the answer always. If it has a dollar sign, it has a pound sign, any currency sign, 2 decimal places. Let's try the test. I'm clicking on test, let it load. Let's begin the test. Let's look at the question. The first question, I'm just waiting for it to load, and let's do it together, right? So that we all click the questions together, and there are total 30 questions. We'll try to do a few questions from here. Okay, I'll write down test over here so that you would know the question is from the test. The first question from the test says, multiply dollars 0.55 is multiplied by 0.2. And the options we have is, the first option is dollars 0.10. Option B is dollars 0.11, and option C is dollars 0.12. Let's see which of the options is the correct option. I'll give you some time. I'll discuss meanwhile. I want you to try and tell me which is the correct option, and then we'll solve it together and we'll verify the answer. Okay? Okay, let's do it together. The question says multiply dollars 0.55 by, okay, that's great. But 110 cannot be the answer. You need to move the decimal places. How many decimal places are there? 0.55 has 2 decimal places. 0.2 has 1 decimal place, right? So the total number of decimal places you have to move on the left side. This would be something like this. 2 decimal places, 1 decimal place. It becomes the total 3 decimal places we need to consider. That means 55 multiplied by 2. Your answer, oh, this is 2 times 5 is 10, 1 is carry, 2 times 5 is 10, and 11 is there. So once we have this 11, right, 110, okay, we know that the decimal right now is after the third digit, after the unit. We know we have to move 3 decimal places. We move 1 place, we move 2 place, and we move the third place. The decimal moves 3 digits on the left side. Okay, that means our answer comes out to be 0.11. Oh, sorry, 0.10. No, let's see. 110, 111. No. Okay. 0.11. No, no, we would mind. Don't say never mind. This is zero. This is not 0.10. It is 0.11. Okay. Do we agree on this? That means option B is the correct answer. Let's click on option B. If on our screen in the test, let's click on option B. 0.11. That's the correct answer. Okay. Let's move on to the next question. Question number 2. It says, if necessary, round off to the nearest cent. Round off to the nearest cent. Okay. And the question says dollars 2.64 is multiplied by 0.6. I'll write down the options. Option A is given as dollars 1.50. Option B is given as dollars 1.58, and the option C is given as dollars 1.54. Let's see what is our answer. The first thing, whenever we are multiplying, we look at the number of decimal places, okay? So let's look at the number of decimal places and let's see. Okay. There are two decimal places, right? DP stands for decimal place, right? I'm writing it in a short. And this is one decimal place. That means the total number of decimal places is 3 decimal places that we need to consider. So we can write 264 is multiplied by 6. Okay. 6 times 4 is 24. We write the 4 and we carry the 2 to the tens. 6 times 6 is okay. Let's see 1.54. Your answer is that. Let's compare. Okay. 6 times 6 is 36, right? 36 plus 2 is 38. And 6 times 2 is 12. 12 plus 3 is 15. So therefore our answer, the value we find comes out to be 1584. Decimal is over here. How many places we had to move? We had to move 3 decimal places. We move 1 place, we move 2 place, and we move 3 place. That means our answer comes out to be 1.584. The question says round off to the nearest cent. Your answer is correct. Okay. So let's do this. Since this is a 4 over here, this would be a round down. A round down does not change the next number. That means the final answer is dollars 1.58. Agreed? Let's try one more question. Okay, let's click on the answer and let's see whether the answer is correct. Okay, let's look at the answer. Okay, the answer was 1.58. Yeah, and let's try this. Question number 3. It says multiply dollars 796 is multiplied by 0.4. And the options that are given are the option A is dollars 330.45. Option B is dollars 356.54 cents, and option C is dollars 318.40. Okay. The first thing before doing anything is we need to look at the decimal places. In this question, we only have one decimal place, right? So what we can do is we can multiply 796 can be multiplied by 4. Okay, I'll wait for your answer also so that we can match our answers. Which one? Okay. Okay. 356.54. Let's confirm the answer. And the previous one also confirmed. That's correct. Right? 1.58. Option B was correct, right? In this case, 6 times 4 is 24, right? So we keep the 4, we carry the 2. 4 times 9 is 36. plus 2, that would be 38. We keep the 8, we carry the 3 to the hundreds. 7 times 4 is 28, plus 3 is 31. That means 31 over here. Sorry, I think I did something. Okay, let's do it again. Sorry, 796 into 4. Okay, sorry. Did I copy the correct? 796.4, 330.45, 356.54, 318.40. Okay, that's fine. 6 times 4 is 24. We keep the 4. We carry the 2. Okay. 9 times 4 is 36. It becomes an 8. 38. 7 times 4 is 28. Plus 3 is 31. Yeah. 3184. Yeah, I'm fine. So if we have 3184 and the decimal was here, we just need to move one decimal place. The decimal will come over here. That means it becomes 318.4. Okay. And we put up a dollar sign. That means option C is correct. And we give it to 2 decimal places because since we are talking about cents as well. 20. Yeah, I wrote 31. That's exactly what I did. 28. See, I'll show it to you again. 7 times 4 was 28, and we had a carry of 3. We add 3. This becomes 31, and we wrote 31. "28 plus 3 is 31." Yes. That means the option C, that is 318.40, is correct. Okay. Okay, we'll end our class over here. And I would want you people to try all the questions. Okay. Attempt as many questions as you can so that you have more practice, and we'll move on to the next lesson. Okay. Thank you so much for your patience, for your time. I hope it was a good learning lesson. Take care. Bye. Thank you.